Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw.
The world champion Los Angeles Dodgers.
I love this, Wayne. His teammates and the crowd giving him his flowers.
Now you saw the tears of pride and joy from the Kershaw family. What a moment here at Dodger Stadium tonight that was just kind of thrust onto everyone. Yesterday, Kershaw announcing that he would retire at the end of this season, which made tonight, with the backdrop of the Giants playing the Dodgers here at Dodger Stadium, a momentous occasion to see this man on this mound, possibly for the final time.
We're incredibly blessed to see greatness, the bookend of it, but he always focused on, Wayne, is winning this ball game. Trying to really focus on just saying, hey, this is just like an April ball game, but it's not an April ball game. I love that the family's here giving him his flowers. They go through it. They have the laughs. They have the cries. They made the sacrifice as well.
Now Clayton is certainly coming home after this season is over. And who knows how it will turn out for the Dodgers and for Kershaw. All we can really say is that this is the last time we know he's going to start a game in this ballpark in the regular season. He might pitch again in the regular season after tonight. He certainly might pitch in the postseason. But it's been a really good year for Kershaw. He's 10-2. His ERA around 3.5. He had a great month of August, and somehow, some way, he finds a way to keep going and still be elite.
Well, that's what the great ones do, being able to make adjustments. Even though the velocity might be down, the execution and the will to win has been stoic the whole time. And so he understands this might be his last start, but he has a rival that wants to spoil it for him right across the diamond, so the intensity is going to be there all night long.
And this place has been buzzing since about 4 o'clock. Kershaw's first pitch in his final start at Dodger Stadium, lifted to the left field corner by Elliot Ramos, and it lands in foul territory. It's a long, loud strike from Ramos against a man who's had plenty of strikes thrown in his career. Kershaw with 3,039 career strikeouts, one of 20 all time to reach that 3,000 strikeout mark. And there's strike 2 right down the pipe against Ramos.
Last time out against the Giants, his sequencing was poor, had trouble, didn't feel like he was comfortable on the mound. So far, so good.
Ramos cracks one out to left center field, and this one will spoil some of the party early on. A long home run from Elliot Ramos on an 0-2 pitch has given the Giants a 1-0 start in this finale for Kershaw at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, this is a slider that doesn't get down to the back foot. Clayton Kershaw is going to watch that tape, and that ball needs to be buried right below the plate under the swing path. Didn't get enough of it. Ramos was all over it.
So the first batter takes Kershaw deep, and he gets back in the zone with a strike to Willy Adames. Elliot Ramos putting San Francisco on top. A game the Giants really need to win. They're a game under 500. And there's public enemy number 1 dropping in for a strike from Kershaw.
Yeah, he knew from the sound that that baseball wasn't coming back. He wanted to know where the location was on that pitch, and there it is right there. Being able to get on top of the baseball. The hitter can only see the top half of that baseball, cannot pick up on the rotation, and that's been the calling card for his whole career for 18 years. That's the slider he wanted to throw from Ramos when he gets ahead. Showing the ability to be able to tunnel and play off that fastball. And a ton of swing and miss, especially against the Giants.
1 out on a strikeout. Kershaw puts away Adames. Now he'll face Rafael Devers, who has struggled as a Giant against the Dodgers. Devers has only managed 1 hit so far against the Dodgers since joining San Francisco, although he's familiar with a big-time rivalry back on the East Coast. He's now on the West Coast side of a great rivalry, the Giants and the Dodgers, as they finish off their season series here this weekend. One ball, one strike on Devers.
It seems like to me that as more time passed and his relationship with Willie Adames, he seems to be more comfortable. It's not easy hitting in that ballpark up north, but contact to damage ratio, excellent.
Yeah, these are the matchups too you think about when Kershaw says goodbye for good after this season is over. Well, you kind of cherish the moments where he faces the other elite hitters, and going one-on-one with Devers, it's the big curveball that missed upstairs for ball 3.
He understands he can't just live on the glove side through a fastball to stand up Devers. He tried to land to break him.
He walks Devers with that one, and now a man on base for San Francisco here in the first inning. The Giants lineup is presented by BetMGM. There's Willie Adames in the 2-hole, 28 home runs, trying to become the first Giant since Barry Bonds to have a 30-homer year. Devers hitting behind him. Then Matt Chapman, he'll be up now in the cleanup spot against Clayton Kershaw. There's a strike at the top of the zone with a fastball to Chapman, who has really become the heart and soul of this Giants roster. They missed him when he was out with an injury earlier in the year.
Not only offensively, so important. Multiple Gold Gloves over there in the hot corner. So
it's 0-2 on Chapman. You take the time with Kershaw here to really soak it all in. You know, he has that very familiar setup before he goes into the pitch. Of course, the curveball, which Vin Scully labeled immediately as public enemy #1. Just the way that he goes about his approach on the mound, so cerebral as he is. So you just want to watch him. Now we know that we won't get the opportunity to do so much more after this. Dalton Rushing has the privilege of catching Kershaw here tonight with Will Smith on the injured list. And Kershaw wants to have a discussion with Rushing. You're a left-handed pitcher in the major leagues. You were an all-star. You won 20 games. What makes Kershaw so much better, so elite, that he stands above everyone else that was in his generation?
well, there's a couple of things. Being able to make adjustments. In the later years, he started to be able to command the fastball to the arm side. The reason why that was so important, because he had the velocity early on in his career to go inner half to the right-handed batters and also tunnel that slider. So he got a ton in swing and miss. Then the ability to change eye level with the breaking ball. Now he can still change eye level with the breaking ball, but as you can see, that fastball and really that split change to the arm side really opened up the plate for him.
On 1-2, he gets Chapman to foul one back, and everybody talks about Kershaw, the competitor, and what a bulldog. I mean, the guy normally sits in this seat up here. Orel Hershiser was called the bulldog, but that same mentality lives inside Kershaw.
And you know what? That's just fitting to Clayton Kershaw. Everybody's here to watch him. Even the other side is watching that it could be his last start, but he's going at it very normal.
And Chapman hits one to the left field corner, foul. You could write books, Andy McCullough did. You could write stories, you can write novels really about Clayton Kershaw and his great career, the 11 All-Star games, the 5 ERA titles, the 3 Cy Young Awards, and the MVP. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Chapman hits a chopper to third. It's Hernandez bobbling it, and everybody's safe for San Francisco.
Kike wanted to be able to go to Rojas at second to try to get the lead runner a little too fast within the glove. Chapman was hustling out of the box, so it's going to be very difficult to try to double up Chapman down the line.
You can see Hernandez start to peek towards second base as that ball was about to hit him in the glove.
Prolongs the inning, has a chance, especially with Flores. They're top RBI guys in their lineup, and so right now the Giants are already having a lot of traffic, like the last start they had with Clayton Kershaw. But Clayton Kershaw so far has been able to stay around the strike zone.
First and second with Chapman now aboard and Devers at second base. Flores swings and misses. It's a funny thing for these Dodgers. They've played in every sort of big game imaginable, but this is a different kind of setting where they want to get it right for Kershaw here tonight.
Foul ball. Take it.
Rushing takes one off the hand. Ask Dave Roberts specifically about Rushing. You know, he hasn't played in all the big games. He's a rookie, and he's behind the plate here. But Dave Roberts doesn't think Rushing will put too much pressure on himself here tonight.
You know what? He has the talent. He already built quickly a rapport with Clayton Kershaw and has earned the respect. A little bit banged up, getting that foul tip, and he says, I'm okay, just give me a little bit more time. He understands his importance in the lineup with pitch receiving and game calling, and that's very difficult to do if you're a young catcher, earning the respect not only of the starting rotation, but some of that firepower they have in the bullpen as well.
Rushing needs a moment to collect himself after that foul ball. He says he's fine, trying to shake it off as best as he can. Ben Rortvedt is the other catcher on the roster now, with Smith on the injured list. Rushing going to make sure he's good to go here with some warm-up tosses to Freddie Freeman at first base.
Part of his game that's elite too. Being able to control the running game, very important. Gives Clayton Kershaw a little bit of breather, and that's a tough position back there.
This is Rushing's first start back since he had his own IL placement. So Rushing wanting to stay in there and certainly wanting to be a part of this night with Clayton Kershaw in his final regular season start here at Dodger Stadium. Wilmer Flores is at the plate with the count 0-2. And there's the breaking ball for strike 3.
Being able to slow the hitter down and change the eye level. That ball looks so enticing, but because of the rotation down, that depth change and that velocity, tough to cover.
Kershaw's last start was against the Giants in San Francisco. He allowed 4 runs early in that game. That's what 4 walks in just 3 innings pitched. But for the most part, Kershaw has been able to get through whatever his fastball looks like now, whatever stuff he has at this moment. He's risen to the occasion more times than you can even count throughout his career, but especially this year, coming back from all the injuries, he's able to take the ball and deliver for the Dodgers when they've really needed him at times. Swing and a miss by Casey Schmidt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, out of all the years and all the numbers that he's put up, the gaudy numbers, I'm really more impressed of him in year 18 to go from a hope to a need, especially the struggles and the injuries they had in that rotation, going 5-0 in the month of August.
There's a little bloop out toward right. It's Hernandez coming in, making the catch to end the inning. Kershaw has gotten plenty of thrills at the expense of the Giants. You see the 2.08 ERA. It's his lowest against any opponent. And the 415 strikeouts entering tonight were the second most ever against the Giants. Well, guess what? He struck out Adames and Flores in the first inning. So another record for Kershaw. 417 strikeouts. He passes Warren Spahn for the most ever against the Giants.
You know, you put up all those cool stats, but he's a 4-time Warren Spahn Award winner. And that's one award for both leagues, the most outstanding lefty in all baseball. And so I don't think we got enough reel to be able to put all his accolades up, but 415 strikeouts.
Well, thank you.
Encarnacion is the batter leading off here in the second, as the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Of course, with this being an Apple TV broadcast tonight, it's understandable that a lot of Dodger fans don't want to hear what Joe Davis has to say about Clayton Kershaw. Joe's here tonight, actually. It's his bobblehead giveaway night. So I asked Joe, you know, what's the one thing you'd really want to say about him tonight? And he said how he always, right up until this year, found a way. Each inning, each start, each year, Kershaw found a way. He walks Encarnacion. He said you don't pitch 18 years without evolving. He refuses to give in, and he's 10-2 to show for it this year.
Catcher number 14, Patrick.
See what Kershaw has done to obliterate his rival. You know, it's different. You see one of the Cardinals-Cubs rivalry there, but it's so different when you do it against your rival. You dominate the team that you're supposed to be beating all the time, according to your own fan base. There's a strike to Patrick Bailey, who made an error last night, a key error. He was such a great defensive player, but he dropped a ball at home plate that helped the Dodgers win yesterday's game 2-1.
Plus 64 in catcher framing runs, one of the best to do it. Now has struggled at the plate, but has at times showed life. If he continues to develop offensively, man, he's going to be one of the best two-way players in all of baseball. Love his pitch framing, his presence back there, and obviously one of the best throwers of the baseball behind the plate.
No balls and 2 strikes on Bailey here with Encarnacion at first. A short lead for a big guy over there as Bailey fouls one off. Kershaw only threw 67 pitches in his last start. He threw 83 the outing before that. He's gotten up into the 90s a couple of times. One outing he's reached 100 pitches July 2nd. No balls, 2 strikes the count. As Bailey takes strike 3. Public enemy number 1 has been prime here tonight.
In the back of your mind, hitters are thinking, we know this breaking ball is coming, and it just locks up Bailey. And being able to follow swings, I think that's a nuance that's missing in developing kids to be able to be major leaguers. You have to follow the swings. He threw a fastball at the top of the zone. Bailey fouls it off, throws the breaking ball right off that.
Drew Gilbert takes ball 1. Gilbert's been somewhat of a spark plug for the Giants of late. He's been traded a couple of times, including this year. He came over from the Mets when the Giants traded Tyler Rogers to New York. I see a lot of highlights of Gilbert making a scene in the dugout, jumping up and down, screaming at somebody.
That's when the Red Bulls kick in. But you always need a guy like that, that just loves the game, plays with that energy, and really that's his personality.
2 balls, no strikes on Gilbert. Getting a start for Jung-Hoo Lee tonight. Even at this stage in Kershaw's career, right at the very tip of the end of it, well, you still have to respect his game to give a left-handed batter a day off, and Jung-Hoo Lee is not on the bench, or not in the lineup, I should say. He's on the bench for the Giants here tonight. There's a strike to Gilbert. It's 3-1.
So far, the Giants have done a good job of just working the count, driving the pitch count up. They did this in San Francisco the last time they saw Clayton Kershaw. It's important for Clayton Kershaw to start trying to get some contact and get his defense involved. But man, Wayne, there's been a big-time buzz in this stadium since 3 o'clock today.
Kershaw steps off. And there's ball 4. So Kershaw battling his command a bit. He's walked 3 in the first 2 innings. And a couple of walks at the bottom of the order here. It was Elliot Ramos who started this game with a home run. StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, Ramos did a good job of staying on that slider that Clayton Kershaw wanted to bury. Elongated the swing 431 feet. So he's got some serious power at the top of the lineup. And now you're starting to see how this Giants lineup is structured at the top of the lineup. They still have a chance, obviously, to get in the postseason, but if the guys come healthy in spring training, they can do some damage at the top of the lineup.
Ramos with 18 homers on the year. Those powers been quieter in the second half. The Giants have swayed so much offensively this year. They've been really hot at times. They've cooled off at others. They're in a cold stretch right now.
Well, Bob Melvin made it clear in the manager meeting. When we hit and we score, we win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's the ebb and flows of this lineup. And so that's where they're going to look back at the season if they don't get into the postseason. A little bit of the frustration, but at the same time, you can see structurally this is what we're going to have to do next season.
The numbers certainly bear that out. The Giants are stockpiling wins. It's because they're scoring runs. In their last stretch, they were averaging 6.5 runs per game. Bob Melvin has seen a lot of games, both as a big league player and manager. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Ramos as Kershaw keeps missing here. 2 balls and 1 strike. What are you seeing from Kershaw as far as why some of these pitches aren't landing?
He's falling off to the third base side just a tad bit too early, so it's messing with the release point down. He's got the breaking ball spin down, but the fastball has eluded him.
It's a pop-up from Ramos, and that's just what we're talking about when it comes to Kershaw. Finding a way. Now the command having some issues. Still, he gets it out when he needs one here as Ramos pops out. Again, StatCast powered by Google Cloud on Kershaw's arsenal.
Well, he's feeling good tonight because I've already seen a couple 90s, a couple 91s. The four-seam fastball has to play. Obviously, he wants to get to that slider, not only on the glove side, but the arm side as well. And when he gets ahead, you're already seeing public enemy #1.
2 outs here in the second. Willy Adames struck out his first time. He pops it up, so Kershaw gets 2 pop-ups to the same spot right when he needed him to get out of this inning. Wow, Rojas has that.
And I'm here with Matthew Stafford. They've got a big game this weekend, the LA Rams do. But it was important for you to be here, for your childhood friend, Clayton Kershaw, who you grew up with. Why was it important for you to be here, Matthew?
I got to see this guy at the beginning, and being able to see him do it now for so many years here in LA has been incredible. I didn't want to miss this. I'm just so happy it fell on a night that I could be here.
All right, you've known this guy since you were young. What's your favorite Clayton Kershaw memory?
Oh, man, too many to remember, but I'll just always remember playing baseball, playing catch with this kid way back in the day in Dallas, Texas, growing up, figuring out the sports world together, and those are my memories, man, the ones from when I was a kid.
All right, thanks. I think you've both done pretty well. Thank you, Matthew.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Clayton Kershaw's Dodger Stadium debut came May 25th, 2008 against the Cardinals. Russell Martin was his catcher that day. Andre Ethier had the walk-off hit. They're both here tonight among other former Dodger teammates of Kershaw's that are in attendance for this final regular season start for Kershaw at Dodger Stadium. Kershaw gave up 2 runs in 6 innings in his first Dodger Stadium start against St. Louis back in 2008.
227 starts in Dodger Stadium in the career.
That's in the regular season, and of course more in the postseason as well. This is his 249th career appearance in this ballpark. Kershaw with the announcement of his retirement. It starts his Hall of Fame clock too, don't forget. As Devers looks at a strike, he'll be in the class of 2031, and there have only been a handful of first ballot Hall of Fame single team starting pitchers ever. The last was Jim Palmer. He was inducted in 1990. There's a strike to Devers, and it's 3-2. But it's a class of Walter Johnson, Bob Feller, Sandy Koufax, Bob Gibson, and Jim Palmer. First ballot Hall of Fame single team starting pitchers that Kershaw would join.
Well, that's part of the mystique and the joy about watching him.
Swing and a miss. He comes back to strike out Devers.
Excellent sequence, being able to double up with the slider. He got the call strike slider at the bottom of the zone. He says, I'm going to go right back to that. Caught more of the plate. Devers over swinging. You see pull off that baseball. A little bit tardy too, trying to catch that spin, and the little ones loving that.
2 of them eating and 2 of them punching out Devers.
Yeah, man, you got a lot of kids up there. I get it. Got a lot of kids. One with ice cream, one with popcorn. Mama Kershaw gonna have to run up the turnstile. There's gonna be a bathroom break. But they're always at the ball game supporting their dad. One of the best to ever do it.
Certainly is. It's almost hush-hush sometimes to think about comparing the greats of today to the greats of the past. Those ghosts from beyond, they kind of become untouched. Well, you can't talk about Babe Ruth or anybody else in today's game in the same sentence, as Chapman drives one to the gap in right center, and this one will bounce all the way to the wall. It'll be an extra base hit for Chapman. But as far as Clayton Kershaw and comparing him to the greats of the past, you can't help but go to Sandy Koufax, and that is the ultimate comparison, right? When it comes to a Dodger, a left-hander, the great curveball, it's Koufax and it's Kershaw. And I know you're not supposed to really say it, but to me, they are side by side, and Kershaw is this generation, our generation's Koufax.
1,000%. You couldn't say that any better, Wayne. And their relationship in the organization, how public it is. and Sandy doing all those numbers in such a short time. And one of just the great human beings. Every time I get a chance to talk to Sandy, man, he's always has something positive to say about the Dodgers, about the game of baseball. And even he says, my breaking ball was good, but that man on the mound today is better.
Flores lines one up the middle, and that's a base hit. Chapman heads for the plate. He'll score the second run for the Giants, and San Francisco's back in front on a base hit by Wilmer Flores.
Flores comes into the ball game second on the team in team RBIs, and so you're starting to see the teeth of this lineup and really their depth of their lineup, where they have 5 to 6 guys in their lineup that can beat you on any given day. This is a pitch right over the heart of the plate. Flores goes right back up the box, and as soon as Chapman sees the contact, he's hustling out of the box and he's trying to score to retake the lead.
Ball 1 to Casey Schmidt, who lined out his first time. Flores now has tied his career high with 71 runs batted in this year. He's had some success against Kershaw in the past. Always been good against lefties. Wilmer Flores. Schmidt's done well against the Dodgers this year. He has 9 RBIs against the Dodgers this season. He had 8 of them in the first series between these two teams at Dodger Stadium this year. And there's the big hook, although it was not a favorable call from the home plate umpire, Lance Barksdale. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Barksdale's been 50-50 with that type of breaking ball at the down in the bottom of the zone. Kershaw saying, haven't you seen my movies? That's where I go with that breaking ball.
And there's ball 3. But that's kind of the point. Our generation deserves heroes too. And this guy is certainly one of them. Clayton Kershaw is a hero for this generation, not just for Los Angeles and for the Dodgers, but for all of baseball. He transcends the entire game with his greatness. There's the strike at the bottom of the zone.
Clayton's trying to make some adjustments with his sights. He's getting beat with pitches up in the zone, so now he's trying to stay from the knee down to try to induce some ground balls.
It's a full count on Schmidt. Throw to first. Kershaw had 58 pitches, and with every one that he throws, he gets closer and closer to the finish line here tonight. And our window of seeing Clayton Kershaw here at Dodger Stadium closes with each delivery that comes home. This will be number 59. And it's grounded foul. We know he's going to end up in that 80 to 100 range here tonight.
It's going to be very difficult for Doc, especially you see the pacing of the game, the direction of the game. Trying to take that baseball out of that man's hand tonight, understanding the importance of they need a Dodger win. And from the other side, the Giants want to spoil it for him.
It's 3-2 on Schmidt. Another foul with each pitch that Schmidt fouls off. It just pushes Kershaw closer to the curtain call. Guy's going to have his curtain call some point, but he's not ready yet.
I was talking to him earlier today. He says, nah, I'm coming back to the train. He said, nah. He said, I haven't golfed all year. I said, oh, you really coming back?
It's a full count on Casey Schmidt.
Excellent at bat by Schmidt, spoiling the breaking ball, but still having enough bat to ball skills to be able to spoil off the fastball. And so loving this cat and mouse game, this battle between the veterans.
Curveball just missed for ball 4. You can see rushing from here, trying to snap it back over the outside corner, but Kershaw just missed his spot off the plate there, and it is his 4th walk tonight. And Schmidt takes first after a long at bat.
Just off the edges, man. Too close to take, but Schmidt locked up a little bit and saw that the baseball's away. And come on up.
You got 4 umpires sitting right
man,
there.
listen. be umping even louder once they get that cotton candy.
Here is Encarnacion with runners on first and second. It's an interesting comparison, Kershaw to Verlander. You can throw Max Scherzer in there too, because they are the surefire 3 first ballot Hall of Fame starting pitchers in this era. But it's different. It hits different with Verlander and Scherzer. They've bounced around. They've been on different teams. Here's a bouncing ball to short. Clayton Kershaw has done it all in Dodger blue, and he's through 3 innings tonight in his Dodger Stadium regular season finale.
We've got another stage manager interview with Dave Roberts. Clayton Kershaw, he's had 64 pitches already. Walked a couple guys, gave up the home run. How closely are you watching him, given the emotion of this start?
I'm watching him closely, and I think obviously given yesterday, the emotions of today, he's expended a lot of energy, and he's not as sharp. You know, he's gritting his way, finding his way to kind of minimize damage. Pitch count certainly higher than we'd like, so you know, I'd love to get him through another one, and we'll see if he can get through the 5th. But you know, we're kind of watching him closely right now.
You've been with him for 10 years. What do you think is going to be the defining moment of Kershaw as a Dodger?
You know what? That's a great question. I've been with him for 10 years, as you said. You know, coming out of the bullpen in D.C. to close out Game 5. Obviously, running onto the field in Texas, winning the World Series out of right field, out of the pen. You know, we've been on a long ride, and it hasn't been linear. But I'll tell you what, there's just no one that has more compete, preparation, and pride in what he does as a professional. And for him to wear the same uniform for 18 years is pretty special.
It is. Thank you, Dave.
All right, thanks, Heidi.
Well, that's really what puts him at the top of the list when it comes to Dodger history. 18 years wearing that uniform and having nothing but success.
He'll never be worn again, that's for sure. Like they tell him he's a walking statue, and not only just in baseball, that number 22, but really in sports. You look at Emmitt Smith wearing the number 22 in the Cowboys uniform, and I think of Clayton Kershaw, and so I love what he said about gritting his way, because obviously the command is not there where he would want it to be, but keeping his game close, and just been an icon of not only the Dodgers and this organization, but really the city of Los Angeles. He doesn't care about any of that right now. He wants to win this ball game and really find his command.
He's behind Drew Gilbert, 2 balls, no strikes. Gilbert walked earlier. Kershaw has walked 4. There is no one up right now in the Dodger bullpen as Kershaw is about to throw his 70th pitch here tonight. Dave Roberts kind of foreshadowing a bit that doesn't see this one going past 5 innings.
And I agree with Dave 1,000%. The emotion yesterday at the press conference, talking about his teammates, seeing his teammates be emotional about it. Dave Roberts is emotional about it. There's a lot of emotions right now in this stadium, because we all know that we're witnessing what could be the bookend of a great career. It's something you never see again in a Dodger uniform.
Well, the Dodgers haven't really mapped out the next week yet either. They have a 3.5 game lead over the Padres right now in the National League West. It's a possibility they'll need to play it out through the end to get that division title locked up. It's possible they'll clinch sometime in the middle of next week, and that series in Seattle next weekend won't mean much to the Dodgers. So they don't know exactly when or if Kershaw will pitch again in the regular season after tonight, or really how their pitching is going to look once that wild card series begins in about a week and a half. Gilbert floats one over the infield. Rojas thought about letting it drop, but he makes the catch.
Jake Peavy sending a big congratulations and lots of love on your retirement, buddy. What a way to go about it. The best I've ever seen. True pro, class act, and role model for us all. Enjoy this last ride with your teammates and family. Congrats again, left-hander.
Kersh, man, congratulations on an unbelievable career. You were one of the best to ever do it.
Some words of congratulations and a send-off for Kershaw from the likes of Jake Peavy and Matthew Stafford, who's here at the game tonight.
When he gets home and he gets settled in and he gets a chance to look back at the season and reflect back to the career, he's really going to enjoy all those positive messages for some of the greats in different forms.
Elliot Ramos started this game with a home run, trying to spoil this historic night for Clayton Kershaw.
Sold out crowd. Even as an opponent, I've always loved the energy of Dodger Stadium.
2 strikes on Ramos, popped out earlier. He takes ball 1. Kershaw has 222 career victories, matching that number 22 motif with his total number of wins at the moment. Only 96 losses. He'll be the first pitcher with 200 wins and fewer than 100 losses since Al Spalding and Bob Carruthers. There's a fly ball to center field, hit pretty well. Edmonds going back. He has some room and makes the catch. 2 outs. And as Tyler Kepner in The Athletic put it, those 2 guys never even pitched off a mound. They go so far back, pre-1900.
You know what? It seems like every time Clayton Kershaw has stepped on the mound, he is breaking another record. And here goes my man Barnesy. Love to see him. I love to see those guys in the uniform and represent their guy.
Lock in.
One of the greats, man. Everybody loved Barnesy.
Austin Barnes, A.J. Pollock, Janethier, Russell Martin, Trace Thompson here as well in attendance to see Kershaw off tonight. No balls and a strike on Willie Adames. As we've said, it's probably not his last appearance on a big league mound, but it's definitely the last start in a regular season game in this place that he has rocked for so long with some of his most amazing performances.
When I think of Clayton Kershaw, I think of how many shots, how many videos have you seen of him be in a big spot, come up with a big pitch and show that roar, show that emotion. That's what I remember about Clayton Kershaw, and really just having that standard in the Dodger uniform.
Bailey chased back to first.
A bit of a snap throw.
The Dodger bullpen is up. Edgardo Enriquez has started throwing in the bullpen for Dave Roberts. Kershaw trying to get through the 4th. Little tapper, that's foul.
Trying to go with that big slow breaking ball at 74 miles an hour. Adames recognized it mid-flight. Spoiled it, but he's been going to that breaking ball, especially showing the ability once he gets ahead of the hitter. We'll see if he goes with the slider, back foot. Wanted to go with the slider down, left it up and over the plate. You can see with Rushing's target, he wants that ball down. Sometimes when you feel too strong, you overthrow that breaking ball, and that's what happens.
The familiar pre-pitch setup of Kershaw. Check switch.
I love this at-bats right here. Adames spoiling good pitches. Clayton stay focused. Thought that was a good pitch call right there. Adames has seen a breaking ball and now a slider. Now that fastball plays up.
The 20th pitch of this 4th inning for Kershaw. It's his 84th of the night. That's another foul. We've seen a bunch of foul balls here from the Giants tonight.
Yeah, they've done a good job. And obviously they've seen Clayton Kershaw before. They have a good game plan of understanding that a lot of the pitches that they're going to throw is going to come inner half to the right-handed batter. That's why he started to have success to the second half of his career, being able to throw the pitches he wants to the arm side.
It's 2-2. It's starting to set up in a manner where Rafael Devers is on deck, and that will likely be the last batter for Kershaw here at Dodger Stadium. Enriquez, the righty, is warming up. Matt Chapman is due up after Devers. Kind of see the writing on the wall there. Swing and a miss.
What's up, Clayton? It's Aaron Donald here. Just reaching out to congratulate you on one hell of a career, legendary career. Enjoy retirement. You dominated the first chapter of your life and on to the next chapter of your life, and you're going to do so many more great things, but you're going to be missed. So much respect for you, man. Enjoy it.
Well, respect from all walks of life for Clayton Kershaw. And there's the curveball to Rafael Devers for strike one. Enriquez is up in the Dodger bullpen. We got the two right-handed batters next. We'll see how Dave Roberts plays this here in the 5th inning.
Very important to get ahead and stay ahead. Got Devers last time on the slider, now attacking him. The fastball up, already ahead 0-2. I go with the fastball, inner half.
Every single person in Los Angeles wanted that to be called strike three.
Oh, man. Love that sequence. Dalton rushing, bouncing out there saying, hey.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Devers. The first batter Kershaw ever faced here at Dodger Stadium was Skip Shoemaker, and he struck him out. It was on May 25th, 2008. Tonight, September 19th, 2025. Kershaw still a Dodger on the mound at Dodger Stadium. And he strikes out Rafael Devers. Years worth of memories in Dodger blue, and Clayton Kershaw has hugs for everyone around him and everyone in this ballpark as he simply says thank you to Dodger Stadium. Fitting that it ends with a strikeout, just like it started back in May of 2008. Kershaw punches out Devers, and Dodger Stadium erupts one last time for a GOAT.
You know what I love to see right now? The genuine joy that he has in his face right now. The appreciation of the crowd, the appreciation of his teammates. Love seeing his lovely family finally get to see what it would be a bookend for the best careers of all time.
nothing but adoration, admiration, respect, and love for a man who gave all he had for 18 years in that one uniform, a Dodger uniform.